Hey guys, this is Finality. Figured I'd do some retro reviews, some kind of older niche games that I felt like needed a play. This is my review of Sakura War: So Long My Love. Sakura War: So Long My Love. It's the fifth entry in the series. However, it's the first and so far the only game in the series to be localized for North American audiences. It was originally released here back in 2010. The best way to describe this game would be a visual novel with gameplay added in. And if you've never played a Japanese visual novel, it's mostly a game or is a static images, and you answer questions or make decisions that can dictate what your ending is going to be. I would say the visual novel portion of the game is quite a bit longer than the actual gameplay portion. Also, during the visual novel portion of the game, you interact with most of the other main characters, and decisions you make kind of dictate the ending or how the other characters, most of which are girls, feel about you. There were two versions that were released here in America. There was a Wii version and a PS2 version. The PS2 version had two discs, while and included the original Japanese voice track and the English track, and had a collector's art cover. The Wii version is only one disc, doesn't include the art cover. Has different art for the front cover, and it's English only. Does not include the Japanese voice track. The story, it's set in early 1900s New York. The main character, Shinjiro, he joins the New York Combat Review, which is a military-esque organization who fight these mysterious dark robots who show up and destroy New York City. Origin, they don't know where they come from or why they attack. They just know that they show up and start destroying things. During the visual novel part of the game, as I mentioned earlier, you're prompted to make decisions during conversations. Sometimes it's easy to pick out what you think would be the right answer. Sometimes it's not. You get sound indicators indicating whether you made the right decision in that particular situation. This causes the characters to like you more or less depending on the answer that you gave them or what you did. It's really important for the characters who join you in combat because the higher that they think of you, the better they think of you. They actually get improved stats like improved movement or improved attack or improved defense. So it's really important to get on their good side. The battles, they take place usually after a big visual novel portion. If you've ever played a game similar to Valkyrie Chronicles, which is made similarly by the same team as Sega, or Final Fantasy Tactics, you'll get the general idea of what's going on in this game, but it's on a much smaller scale. It's not that big. I think you have a max of 4 to 6 units per battle that you actually get to control. The battle system consists of your basic attacks, super moves, and joint moves. Basic attacks move around. You have a bar called the mobility bar, and every time you attack or move, that bar goes down. When that bar reaches 0, you can't do anything else besides end your turn. The basic attacks, you can usually do 5 or 6 in a row, with the last one being a more powerful attack. Uh, Joint moves are you can join with one other of your characters on the field for a larger AoE attack. It's really useful for taking out multiple enemies at once or doing more damage. And also during the battle phase, you can heal, which takes up some of your SP bar. Healing, sometimes you might want to use it because if you get low and die, it kind of sucks. Super moves. There are really large attacks that you can usually only do once per battle, sometimes twice if your bar gets high enough. It's best saving those for the boss characters on the map. You really don't want to waste them on any of the smaller enemies. I said earlier, it's possible for your characters to lose during the battle, and it's not like Tactics where they die and they're just gone forever. They'll come back after time for your next battle. If any of your teammates drop to 0, they're just done for that battle, and also it lowers their stats. They're like I said, they have the opinions of you. It gets lower if you actually allow them to lose in battle. But if the main character is defeated, Shinjiro, it results in a game over, and then you can either reload the game or retry the match. So he's probably the most important unit on the field. The presentation of this game, it looks a bit dated. I mean, it originally came out here in 2010, so as of this recording, it's already 3 years old in that regard. but it came out in Japan in 2005. So that makes it like 8 years old of this review. So I mean, it looks dated, but you have to remember when this game originally came out. So it looks bad by today's standards. I mean, I was playing it on my flat screen, and the SD 480 being stretched up that far really didn't look pretty at all. Environments are kind of blocky and pixelated, but I mean, like I said, this game's old, it's to be expected. You can't really knock it for that. If you don't like the English voiceovers, I would highly suggest the PS2 version if you're gonna try this game out, because you can play with the original Japanese voice track. Overall, the voices aren't that bad, but some of the accents, they try way too hard. Like you have one of the characters, Texas cowboy named Gemini, has just like an overly done cowboy down southern accent, which I felt was really poorly done. And you have the young Spanish girl Rosita, who again, they try way too hard to make her sound Spanish or Mexican. It's really, in my opinion, it's really poorly done. It almost makes you cringe when you have to listen to that. This is a very niche game. It's a niche game. It's also part of a very niche genre. RPGs these days are niche anyway, but a visual novel you don't really see that often in America anyway, which is it's really crazy that they even released this here in the first place. The only other visual novels that I can think of that have been released here, and feel free to correct me, was a 999 and its sequel, Zero Escape, which are kind of different games. I won't really get into those, but really niche genre. So I would only recommend this if you like anime, or if you like visual novels in particular, or story-driven games, or even just anime themed. If that really doesn't describe you, I'd give it a pass. I don't want you to waste your money, but I personally like this game because I like these type of I like the story, I like visual novels, and I like anime, and I like RPGs. This is Finality. If you like my review, give me a like or subscribe. If you have any comments or suggestions, post them here or shoot me a message. Thanks.